been a long time since I've recorded. I have been... He's so funny. Okay, come on, sit with mommy. I have been taking care of this little guy, and he has been great. He has bounced back, and he has recovered so well. I am so thankful that he is doing so good. So I figured, since this video was about him, I figured I'd see fit to have them in the video with me. So I wasn't able... Yes. Okay, let me talk, okay? Okay. So I wasn't able to record much because I just wasn't in the right headspace. I thought that I could, and the day came and I would try to pick up the camera. Just the thought of picking up the camera, I would just start bawling my eyes out. I was so nervous. I was so scared. I just wanted it to be over. So the day before, we went to the Ronald McDonald house, and we checked in, and everything was great. My daughter did not stay with us. She made the choice to stay with her grandma, so that's fine. We wanted to give her the choice to pick where it is that she wanted to stay. It was just James, Abel, and me that night, and the Ronald McDonald was great. They have everything. The room was nice. It was everything that we needed it to be. So the only thing with the Ronald McDonald house was that at around midnight, and said, you know, we needed to evacuate because there was an emergency. So that was the only thing. But other than that, everything was great. They were great. It was easy. Yes. No. You gotta let me talk, okay? Okay. It was great. It was easy, and everything was awesome. So the day came for the surgery. We were right up the street from the hospital, and I was nervous, and you know, we were just so scared, but it made it a little bit easier that Bellamy wasn't there, because I didn't have to hold it together as much as I would have, because I wouldn't have wanted to freak her out. So we got up, we got ready, took him. He was fine until we got to the second floor, and he recognized the lighting, so he started to freak out because he knew from his heart cath, you know, what goes on, you know, in that floor. So he did start to freak out. He did have a few moments of, you know, a few meltdowns. He was shaking, and, you know, he was scared. So that was a little bit hard because we knew that what was coming was a lot bigger than just a heart cath. But he, you know, did the best that he could. They did sedate him a little bit to have him a little bit more calm when they rolled him back to the OR. It gives them, as soon as it kicks in, they don't remember what's going on after they wake up from the surgery, so it kind of serves them good that they don't have to remember that they were being taken away from their mommy and daddy. So they did that, and they took him back, and I was just a mess. I was so scared. I still felt that calm, but I was still scared of the unknown. I was afraid of what could go wrong. So surgery was supposed to be 4 to 6 hours, so it was a very long wait. So we waited, and at the 4-hour mark, we get a text saying, okay, go up to the 5th floor and wait for the surgeon. And I was 50-50. 50% of me was like, oh, everything went so great, they were done early, everything went smooth. And 50% of me was like, why did they finish early? Something is wrong. I was just having this mental fight with myself. I just kept praying. I prayed. I had been praying, and I still pray because you know, I prayed and I prayed. And once the surgeon came out, Abel still hadn't been rolled up to his room. So he said, you're going to be able to see him when he passes by. And I was so excited just to be able to see him for a few seconds before, because it takes them 20, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour to set him up and get him settled into his room on the floor that he's supposed to be at. So he said everything went great. No problems. Didn't even need a blood transfusion. He came back from the hypothermia. You know, he pinked up really quick. Everything went great. And I was just a sigh of just all the weight had been lifted from my shoulders. I was so thankful that he was okay. I heard those words and I was just, I could not believe it, that it had been, that he said that it was just, it went smooth. Everything went great. And I just couldn't wait to see him. So at moments, as soon as he told us that, our family came up to listen to what the surgeon had to say. And as soon as he said that, our family was walking in and they had seen me crying. So they were like, okay, this could be good, this could be bad. And we were just like, everything's great. He did great. You know, we told them everything that the surgeon had said, and you could just see the weight lifted off of everybody's shoulders and the cries of happiness and relief. It was just amazing. It was completely it was so much better than we could have ever imagined and hoped for. So, yeah. So that was that. We saw him, you know, Bellamy was there because my mother-in-law brought her. So she was able to see her brother pass by. So of course she freaked out a little bit because of the machines, and he wasn't on a ventilator. He only had the mask for the oxygen. He had the medicine cartridges, so I think that's what freaked her out, because it was just so much going on, and there were so many doctors wheeling him and nurses and stuff. So she didn't know what was going on and what was happening. So I think that her cry was a ton of mixed emotions too. So about 30-40 minutes later, we were able to go in to see him. Funny story, backtracking a little bit, I guess they were trying to wake him up a little bit to make sure that he was okay down in the OR, and he tried to jump off the bed, so they had to resedate him for just to give him a little bit to keep him calm. And then I guess when they were coming up in the elevator, that he tried to do it again, and right before we had walked in, you know, before they came out to tell us that we can go in, he had done it a third time. So 3 times this kid tried to jump out of his bed and take everything off, freshly after having open heart surgery. Now, if you're watching my video and you know us personally, you know how fitting this is to Abel. He does not sit still. He jumps around. He does a bunch of stuff that he shouldn't be doing more than half of the time. So we were like, okay, that is our boy. He is gonna be just fine. He is acting like himself. Even under everything that he just went through, he is being himself. So funny. That is something that completely just made our day. We were like, oh, thank you, Lord. You have done the miracle again. You have showed us that miracles do happen. So we went back there. He was a little sedated because he was trying to jump off his bed. And they had said, you know, no eating, no drinking. Put that back. No eating, no drinking for the first 12 hours, because the last thing to wake up is the stomach. So he will throw up. So he was asleep most of the time. He would wake up a little bit, sit down. He would wake up a little bit and he would cry. And I would just kind of get in his face and tell him, you know, it's okay, I'm right here. And he kind of would go back, you know, so he was in between that state of being he can hear us, but he was, you know, somewhat knocked out. So yeah, so that's kind of what the first day was like. We had left to go to sleep the night before, just to make sure that we were rested. We had, you know, not really gotten much sleep. So we came in the next morning and he was walking. We walked in and there was so many doctors, because I think after rounds, they go and check on the patients and talk to the nurses. And, you know, there were so many people. And I just thought, okay, you know, I hope he's okay. I thought that he was still going to be asleep. I thought that they were going to wait for us to wake him up. We walked in and I was just bawling my eyes out when I saw him walking. I just could not believe that he was walking around. And I was so thankful and so happy to see that he was moving around. And of course, I probably shouldn't have cried, because then I freaked him out and he started crying. And then on top of it, he probably was wondering where we were. So I was just like, I had a bit of mom guilt. I had a bit of mom guilt for going to sleep the night before, because I felt like, oh my gosh, he's gonna, you know, he's walking around, and I'm wondering when he woke up in the morning if he wondered where his mom and his dad were. And I had such mom guilt that I had to get over, because the truth is that if I become sick and I don't take care of myself and I don't sleep and I don't eat, I am going to get sick and I won't be able to go into the room with him to help him out. So I had to make that decision of, okay, you either go to sleep the first night, because the first night is very uneventful. Wow. And you stay there the next nights, because that's when they're going to need your help. And that's when he's going to be alert and he's going to want you to be there. And I just chose to go. I chose to go and to go to sleep, because I couldn't afford to get sick. And I know that there's going to be moms and dads watching this video, and you guys are going to have your opinions about what I did and with the decision that I made, and that's fine. That is completely fine, because you're going to do what is best for you and for your child. But I'm not going to pass judgment on someone that makes a decision that I did or that chooses to stay. I know for myself that if I don't sleep and if I don't take care of myself, I will become sick. And I didn't want that. I didn't want it to be that I become sick and I'm so sleep deprived, and you know what I mean? I want to be alert, and I wanted to be alert, and I wanted to be awake, and I wanted to feel good to be there for him, because I knew that this was going to be hard. He was going to be grouchy. So that is the choice that I made. So I put my stuff down and we went and joined him to walk. He was doing so good. I can tell that he was in pain, but they have to walk. They have to get the heart pumping. You know, they had to do all of that stuff. So I had asked the nurse, you know, was he crying for us? Was he scared? And she says no. Surprisingly, she said, surprisingly, a lot of kids, they cry and they are more whiny when the parents are around, which makes sense, and it makes sense for Abel, because he is such a good kid and he is fine. But as soon as I'm around, he tends to be more sensitive and he cries. And sure enough, the rest of that day, he was really grouchy and he cried a lot. And, you know, the nurse said he was fine for me all morning. He talked to me. He, you know, listened, and he did all these things, and he let me know. He even told me that he had to go poop in the toilet. Mind you, kid wears a diaper, but that he said that he wanted to use the toilet to go poop and to go pee. And so I did spend the night that night. The rest of the day was kind of getting him up to walk, getting him to maybe start eating a little bit. So he had some juices. He didn't get a real meal until later on that day. He didn't eat very much. And it was expected. So he let us know when he wanted to walk. He let us know when he wanted to do all of that stuff. I was just still amazed that it was the second day and he still didn't need a blood transfusion. He was able to get the oxygen off throughout the night. when we got there in the morning, he had a central line and he just had one more dose of the antibiotics. So they did that and then they pulled that out. They took out his drain. They didn't take it out until the next morning. The IV is usually the last thing to come out, just in case if anything were to happen, they need to have access to, you know, put medicine or to do anything. So that's the last thing to come out. They did take out his arterial line that day. So it happened so fast. Everything happened so fast, and I just couldn't believe how fast everything went. I stayed the night that night, and he slept. He walked a lot during the day, and then that night he took a long nap, and then he wanted to go walk. So it was like maybe, I don't know, 10, 11. He went for a walk, and then we came back and he slept again. We gave him a bath, and then he slept up until 5 in the morning. And then at 5 in the morning is when he removed the drain. And it was just, everything happened so fast. So all that I was able to record was just a few clips. I have a few pictures, but it was just, everything happened so fast, and we were so hands-on with him because he was just so ready to go. He was ready to go. So that was the second day. And then the third day, they took out the drain, like I said, and then we went to pick up his meds, and I want to say that he was discharged around 11 in the morning, and then we were on our way home. I was just so amazed. It was just, Tuesday was surgery, Wednesday was him walking around and doing all that, and then Thursday morning we got to go home. I kept feeling like I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, because I felt like this is too good to be true. How is this happening? How is he doing so good? And he was just, it literally was just that he was just at the healthiest point in his life, and that it was the best time to do this surgery. And he recovered really, really good. We are now 2 weeks post-op, and he's doing really good. So we came home on day 3, and then he was really sore. They have this really cool thing now where they just put glue over his incision, and it just peels off within 2 or 3 weeks. It falls off on its own, and it was just, they said that it's, excuse me, I feel like I gotta sneeze. They said that it's great because it protects the scar from everything, because I gotta look it up. I don't know what the name of the glue is, but it's perfect, and most of it has come off. His scar looks so good, and he's just doing great. He is moving around, jumping around. Of course, we still can't pick him up from under his armpits, and that won't happen for a few weeks. He has been doing really good. He's recovering really, really well. As you can tell, he's very active. When I bathe him, he does get a little anxiety when I come to this area to wash it, but he does really, really good, which I wash that area with Dial soap and a bath every day. But he's doing really, really well, and I am so thankful that it has gone as easy as it has. And maybe this is just what he deserved, to finally have a surgery. I mean, surgery sucks altogether, but in CHD families, this is something great for him to be able to have a surgery, to go so smooth, and to be able to come home so quickly is great. And I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful, and I'm so, so happy that he is home. We, like I said, are 2 weeks out, and he's doing really, really well. The only issue we've had was this morning of him throwing up some phlegm, but now he's fine, as you can see. So I don't know what that was. He wasn't feeling really good. He kind of was in bed all morning, and he threw up that phlegm that one time, and then now he's fine. So maybe he just needed to get rid of that, and he's good. I thought maybe he was getting sick, and we've been home, we hardly go out, trying to keep him safe and healthy. So I was like, how could he have gotten sick? From where? There was a lot of people at his doctor's appointments, and it could have been from anywhere, but it doesn't seem like he's sick, so that's great. Kind of wish that I would have recorded a little bit more and gotten more pictures, but like I said, I just seriously think that there was no way. There was so much, everything was going so fast. When he was sleeping, we were out buying food or going to the bathroom, or catching up on anything else that we needed to catch up on. But it was great. Also, before I end this video, I probably should tell you his scar is healing really well. He's no drainage or anything. It looks really, really good. Let me show you really quick. His scar looks really, really good. And he's, sorry, looks really, really good. It's, let me see. This is what it looks like. You could see the glue right there peeling, but the scar looks really, really good. You can barely even tell, that he just had surgery. Once all of that peels off, then I think that you're gonna barely be able to tell that he even had surgery however long ago. Yeah, you're doing so good. Yeah. What else? Also, everything that I packed was great. I didn't need anything. I didn't have to go to the store to purchase anything for him that he needed. We had everything. Yeah. Let's see. Everything that I packed was perfect. I packed too much clothes, but I packed thinking, okay, he's more than likely going to be there more than 4 or 5 days. I know they said 3 to 4 days, but I just felt like, okay, let's just be safe and pack. I packed for like a week, I think. Nope, 3 days and we were out, which is great. I didn't need anything. So everything that I packed was great. It was super nice to be able to come home and the house was clean. I didn't unpack for maybe 2 days because I was just taking care of him and resting. Me and my husband were switching off resting and taking care of him, and then making sure that we were giving Bellamy attention as well. But everything was great. Everything was so worth it up until then to get prepared. Yeah. So, yeah. So that is Abel's third open heart surgery. I know that no CHD surgeries and stories are the same. And I think a part of me feels very, very sad that not all CHD warriors can have a successful story like this. And not a lot of them make it. And I just pray for those families that are still fighting and have lost their children. And it's sad. So I'm sorry if this video comes off as if everything is great and open heart surgery is no big deal. That's not it. This is just really how everything went, and any surgery is a big deal. But I am definitely happy that it went this smooth, because I know that many, many things could have gone wrong. But yeah, I will pray for you guys and for anybody going through this, and pray that some of you get lucky and have it go this smooth. And if it hasn't gone this smooth and you've had a struggle every single time, I'll pray for you, because I know that our first round of all of this, the first 53 days, was insane. It was crazy. He wasn't supposed to make it, and he's here now. So don't lose faith, don't lose hope, and we are all here to support each other. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, share, comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what your experience was. Let me know if you have any questions. I am definitely excited to get back to filming. So I'm going to go ahead and add the pictures and the videos that I have right now. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Bye. It's not a picture, put your tongue in your mouth. No, I said no. I've never had macaroni. Don't do that.
Dinosaurs, Mom? Yeah, on the picture, yeah. You get him picking his nose?
No.
No. He was all...
Cover your eyes.
Are you coming, Bella? You can't cover his eyes for long, I don't think. Cover your eyes, cover your eyes.
Cover your eyes. Some crayons.
I know your favorite color of glasses.
Oh, some glasses and a flower. That is so sweet.
And donuts and cookies.
Oh, wait, you can't eat them here.
Don't open them up in here. Just